Hello everybody and welcome to the video notes for Unit 4, Day 11. And today we're going to be practicing writing expressions using variables. Today's video is dedicated to Jesus Santoyo in 6A. Hi Jesus. First thing that I want you to do is go ahead and check your answers for this make a guess part after you sorted these words into the correct operation. So go ahead and check your work. And now, before we get started with writing expressions, let's first talk about what is an expression right here. So our definition for what an expression is we're going to think of it like a math sentence with numbers. We can have variables and operations. So some examples of what an expression might be, it could be something like x plus 7, or something like 12 minus 4. They have numbers, variables, operations. Those are examples of an expression. Let's take a look at number 1. Here it says, write an expression for the sum of m and k. When you're reading these descriptions and trying to write an expression, I want us to always get in the habit of underlining the key words. So we know it's the sum of, so let's underline sum of m and k. Those are the two things we're working with here. And I know from up here, right, the sum is what we get when we add. So I know I'm going to put a plus sign above this sum, so I know that in my brain, okay, I'm going to be adding stuff. And the two things that I'm adding are a variable m and a variable k. So I'll start with m, and I'm adding it with k. So this right here represents the sum of m and k. The next part asks you to draw a diagram for the sum of m and k. Well, if we have an m represented by this amount here, and then we add it to another amount, k, this right here, all of this is m plus k. So now that I've shown you these two examples, I want you to try number 3 and number 4 on your own. Write an expression for the sum of k and m, and then what property proves that what you have at number 1 and what you have at number 3 are equal to each other. You can check your do now for the list of properties. So you can go ahead and pause and try those two on your own. And now you're resuming the video. And in today's work, for these problems that you're trying on your own, I'm actually not going to tell you the answer in the video because I really want you to challenge yourself to think about it and come up with the answer on your own, because I think that you can. We're going on to number 5 here. Now we're going to start thinking about subtraction. It's saying to draw a diagram for 6 less than 10. So we have to be careful with the order here, because with subtraction the order matters. 6 less than 10. So this is as if we're starting with 10. So let's draw out 10. And we're going to draw out a box for each number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's 10 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All of this. That's 10. And we want 6 less than that. So we know less is going to be subtraction. So I'll underline less, and I'll put a subtraction sign above it. Sorry, I'm kind of running out of space here. 6 less than this. So that means we're taking away 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of this represents 6. That's how much we're taking away. And so as you can see then, we're just left with 4. Now for writing the expression for 6 less than 10, you might think, okay, so we have 6, and then less than, so that's going to be minus, and then 10. But pay careful attention to this, because this means that you're starting with 6, and then you're taking away 10. But that's not what we did here. Instead, we started with 10, and we took away 6. So it's actually not going to be 6 minus 10, because that would not give us the correct answer. Instead, 6 less than 10 means we're starting with 10, and we want 6 less than that, so it's 10 minus 6. This is a very common mistake. So 6 less than 10 is 10 minus 6. Okay. Now that we have that in our minds, number 7, we're drawing a diagram for 6 less than y. Well, if this is y, okay, and we're taking away 6 from that. Right, this can represent 6. That's what's being taken away. This one I'm going to have you do on your own. Write an expression then. What would the expression be for 6 less than y? Right, we're starting with y, and then we're taking away 6 from that. What would that be? And if you need to, you can check number 5 and number 6 as an example. Okay, let's move on. Number 9 says, write an expression to show the number c being subtracted from the sum of a and b. Let's annotate this first. Write an expression to show the number c. Okay, that's pretty important. We'll underline that. Being subtracted. Okay, this is going to tell us what operation we're using, so we'll underline that. And I'm going to put a subtraction sign above that, so I can keep in my brain that I'm going to use subtraction somewhere. From the sum of a and b. Sum, I know it's a plus word, so I'll put a plus above that and underline it. And we're doing a and b. The first step, start by writing an expression for the sum of a and b. Well, the sum means we're adding, and we're adding a and b. So that means I would have a plus b. This part here, it's asking you to show c being subtracted from the sum. This is the sum right here, a plus b. I mean, what would the expression look like if we're subtracting c from this sum right here? So this one right here, I'm going to have you do on your own. Write your answer here. Subtract c from this sum here, and write that expression out. Last one, moving on to number 10. Number 10 says, to write an expression to show 15 minus the sum of 3 and 4. Let's annotate it first. To show 15 minus, okay, so I'm going to underline minus because that's going to tell us we're going to use some subtraction, so I'll put a subtraction sign above that. The sum, underline that. Sum means the product of, or what we get when we add, so I'll put a plus above that. The sum of 3 and 4. So now I'm going to have a 15, I'm going to have a minus sign, I'm going to have a plus, I'm going to have 3 and 4. Now there's two ways that you can write this, that you might think to write it. And I want you to draw a line in the middle, and we're going to try these out. On the left side, if you write, okay, so 15 minus, so that's 15, minus the sum of 3 and 4. So I'm going to have 3 and 4 that are being added. This is the sum of 3 and 4, and it's 15 minus this. Now this might look pretty good. However, if you remember our order of operations would tell us when there's addition and subtraction, we go left to right. So this would mean that we would do 15 minus 3 first. 15 minus 3 is 12. We have the plus 4. And then 12 plus 4 would give us 16. Now another way that you might write this is 15 minus, and then in parentheses, the sum of 3 and 4. So that would be minus 3 plus 4. And this would be the sum of 3 and 4. Based off of our order of operations, PEMDAS, we would do what's in the parentheses first. So we would do this first. 3 plus 4 is 7. Now I'd have 15 minus 7. And 15 minus 7 gives us 8. This is the correct answer. This one is not. I apologize for the vacuum in the background. The video's almost over. Sorry about the noise, guys. When you're dealing with the sum of something, don't forget to put the parentheses around it. So you can have this right here. Now for this one you're going to do on your own. And I know it's hard to hear, so for now, you're lucky. I'm just going to tell you our secret word is D-O